So we're going to talk about our guided reading book. We're going to talk about Thunder Cake, and it's a book by Patricia Polacco. What we're going to do first before we start reading is we're going to go over some vocabulary that's going to be in the book, so that when we encounter it, we don't get lost over these words, okay? Alright, so you have a post-it note here, and I'm going to give you a word, and I want you to be able to try to make some type of connection with the word, and you write down what you think the word actually means, or if you've heard it before. The first word we're going to talk about is horizon. So what do you think horizon means? Write down on your post-it note what you think horizon means. It's on the board right here, the spelling, horizon. I like how Maria's already started writing down what she thinks it means. Write down on your post-it note what you think horizon means. It's on the board right here, the spelling, horizon. I like how Maria's already started writing down what she thinks it means. Alright, so, Jordy, what did you think that horizon meant?
Like just a line in the sky.
Okay, good. A line in the sky. So here, when we get to the word horizon in the book, you can look at the picture here, and the definition is a line where the sky and the earth meet. So it's when you look out there and you see sky and earth, it looks like the sky is sitting on top of the earth. That's the horizon that we're talking about. So that word is used in the book Thunder Cake. Another word I want us to go over is silt. Slit. What is this? What does it mean, slit? What is that? Write down what you think it means. Alright guys, you got that one pretty quick. What do you think slit means?
Cut something.
Perfect. To cut something through. We usually just use the word cut. We don't use this synonym for it. So here, this is a jagged slit across the horizon or across the ground. Because you guys can see sky and earth meeting in this picture. So that's a slit across the ground. Something else I wanted to talk about, another word that's used in this book, churn. What do you guys think the word churn means? Yair, what did you say that churn meant?
To make something better.
To make something better, okay. What did you put, Maria? Not yet. What you got, Anna?
A special thing.
Something special? What did you put, Jordy?
Something to make butter.
Good. That's absolutely right. Are you a farmer? No. Oh, what? Excuse me. My grandmother is a farmer, and they use this butter churn here, and they put milk in it. They go out there and they milk the cow. The cow is name's actually Bluebell for real. Like Bluebell ice cream. We're trying to be funny. But anyway, Bluebell, they go out there and they milk the cow and they pour the milk into this butter churn. And that rod here, they go up and down and they churn it. And so the milk stays on top and the clabbered milk on the bottom actually makes the butter. So when you churn, this is this special container you use to make butter. All right, and the last... What is a samovar? Samovar. And this one, if you haven't heard, it's okay. So when we get to this one in the book, did anybody have any predictions on samovar? Have any of you heard this word before? No? Okay. This is what this is. It's a metal urn It's like a pot
A choke.
with a faucet at the base. Base is the bottom. Used to boil water for tea. So they use this. This is a fancy teapot, basically, or a tea kettle. How many of you seen a tea kettle? You put it on the stove, and when it heats up, it goes, starts whistling at you. That's what this does. Only it's a lot more fancy than that. Okay. We're going to use technology, and we're going to have Patricia Polacco, the author of the book, actually read the book to us.
The book I'm going to read to you now is a
So
true
follow
story
along as we read.
about my childhood with my father's on their farm in Union City, Michigan. On sultry summer days at my grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. Storm clouds drift low over the fields, birds fly close to the ground, and the clouds glow for an instant with a sharp, crackling light, and then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder makes the windows shudder in their panes. The sound used to scare me when I was little. I loved to go to Grandma's house. Babushka, as I used to call my grandma, had come from Russia years before. But I feared Michigan summer storms. I feared the sound of thunder more than anything. I always hid under the bed when the storm moved near the farmhouse. This is a story of how my grandma, my babushka, helped me overcome my fear of thunderstorms.
All right, guys, what do you think was the theme of Thunder Cake? Now hearing Patricia Polacco read it.
Brave.
To be brave. Okay. What do you think, Maria?
It shows
To not be afraid.
I think she's lucky because she never gave up until she cannot be thunder.
Yeah. Okay, so I hear basically this underlying theme is bravery, to overcome your fear. Was Patricia really, really scared of thunder? Yeah, she was hiding under the bed, right? And her grandmother taught her, her babushka taught her how to make a thunder cake. And she was never scared of thunder anymore. And so what you guys are going to do is you're going to write a recipe, just like in the back of Patricia Polacco's book, and it's her grandma's thunder cake. This is what she actually made to get rid of her fear of thunder and thunderstorms. You're going to write a recipe to overcome your fears. So it could be a fear of heights. It could be a fear of water, like you're scared to swim. It could be a fear of being too smart. It could be a fear of not being cool enough. Whatever you have a fear of, you're going to write a recipe to overcome that fear.
I'm fear of layering.
All right, so at the top, you're going to write your recipe. Fear, overcoming fear.
Cakes. That was my picture.
Okay?
Not my picture.
Making connections to the book. While Patricia Polacco was reading this book, we should have been thinking about what was happening in our head, what we were thinking about the book, right? And that goes back to our metacognition. So when we're doing that, we're going to talk about our schema, and we're going to talk about the connections that we can make with the book. So one connection that I made, and we're going to use the concentric circles of connection where we do text to self, text to text, and text to world. In the center, we have the text, which is Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. Next, we have text to self. One self connection that I made was that my grandmother taught me how to make her famous red velvet cake. So I felt like, just like Patricia Polacco, step by step with my grandmother trying to help me make this cake. Then we move on to text to text. Text to text is where we compare Thunder Cake to another book or another media that you've seen that has a very similar theme or has something that's similar inside of it. One thing that I could think of was like Little Red Riding Hood, how her grandmother taught her how to bake and she was delivering the baked goods to her grandmother. That was one thing I thought of about my text-to-text connection. And then my text-to-world connection was I used to fear riding a bicycle. And it was the scariest thing ever. And I started thinking, man, think about all these people who've had fears and had to overcome their fears. So that was my text to world connection. So right now I want you to take a few minutes and we're going to fill out this graphic organizer where we're making connections to the text. Okay, so in your text to self, has your grandmother ever taught you something? Or have you ever been scared of something? At first we made our recipe and you gave me a recipe for overcoming fear. So you have been scared of something. That's something that you can put in text to self if you've had a fear of something, or if your grandmother has taught you something, or grandparent has taught you something. So that's something you can put in text to self.
My grandma taught me how to make cake. No, my godmother taught me how to make cake.
Then that's something you can put in text to self.
My